I just went up to my tent and there was a guy standing in the dark right behind my tent and it freaked me out.
But this is so sketchy. I keep hearing voices, like faraway voices.
What the f*** is that? Holy f***, what the f*** was that?
Mike OK travels the world doing the kind of things most people only dream about, filming every step of it along the way. He's been to some genuinely incredible places, but this time, the plan itself might have been the boldest part, spending the night sleeping directly on the Great Wall of China, because of course that's exactly the kind of thing he'd try.
Right, we are in the town of Shijiazhi. I think it's called Shijiazhi. Quite literally in the middle of nowhere, and there's no one here. No one here. So if my calculations are correct, the Great Wall of China is that way. About an hour and a half hike. It is our shared responsibility to protect the Great Wall. For your safety, don't go beyond this point. I think that, I don't know if that means this way. This is the way I want to go. This is the way I'm going. Strange. I haven't seen a single other, I saw that one car drive past. I haven't seen a single other person here.
He was completely alone, no one in sight for miles in any direction. At first, that seemed like it would just be the shape of the whole night. Quiet, empty, uneventful. He kept walking, and a little further down the trail, the reason for all that emptiness became clear. This particular stretch of the wall wasn't open to the public. That detail didn't change his plans. If anything, it made the idea of stealth camping there feel even more fitting.
This section of the Great Wall is not open to the public. We've officially hit our off-road section. According to my maps, it's this way. I don't know what this means, but probably says stay the f*** out. This is actually so much tougher than I thought it was going to be. I don't know what I was expecting.
Eventually, he reached the wall and started climbing. After exploring for a while, he found a spot that felt right, somewhere he could set up for the night and still keep an eye on his surroundings. It seemed like a solid plan. It didn't stay that way for long.
So tonight, I'm going to sleep in here. And then in the morning, hopefully all this shit's cleared. We can actually see something. So the sun's gone down. And this is pure isolation. Pure isolation. It's dead silent. Dead silent. And I can see nothing but just darkness around me. And it's these moments where you're just like, fuck. You know, I always want to solo travel. I always want to travel alone until I wish that I wasn't alone. Crazy.
As the night deepened, strange sounds started drifting in from somewhere nearby. And out here, completely isolated, with no one around for miles, that's exactly the kind of thing that gets under your skin fast. Alone in the dark on an ancient wall with sound carrying in ways he couldn't quite place, his mind started filling in the blanks. Not knowing what's making a noise is always worse than knowing.
Dude, I know I'm in the middle of nowhere, but this is so sketchy. I keep hearing voices, like faraway voices. But then I just think like, I don't know, it's just scary. It's scary. Let's just wait for the sun to come up. Try to get a few hours sleep. Wait for the sun to come up. Okay, brother. Okay. You are sleeping? Sleeping here?
I will take a time lapse.
Take a time lapse. Oh, on the sunrise.
Yes.
Or the stars? Okay. What's your name? What's your name?
丁海涛。
丁海涛. My name is Micah. Micah. Oh, very scary. You are sleeping? Or time lapse of the stars?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe soon the moon will come out.
I hope so. I hope the moon will come out for you.
I want to take pictures. The moon is on the sky and the cloud is under.
Yeah. What the Dude, I'm just lying there and I hear the footsteps.
As it turned out, there was nothing to fear. The sound belonged to another traveler, out there for his own reasons, trying to capture a time lapse of the stars. Two strangers, completely unconnected, who just happened to end up in the same remote stretch of the Great Wall on the same night. Nothing dangerous happened, but it's worth sitting with for a second. Even in a place that feels like the middle of nowhere, empty for as far as you can see, you're never fully guaranteed to be alone. This time, it turned out fine. Next time, there's no way to know that in advance. This encounter comes from Kate Ventures. She runs a solo backpacking and hiking channel, mostly documenting national park trips across the western United States. On this particular trip, she and two friends had made their way into Zion National Park, a place already carrying a heavy weight that week. Someone had died on that same trail just 2 days before they arrived. After a long day of hiking, they set up camp for the night. Everything felt normal, calm, even, until she walked back to her tent alone.
I just went up to my tent and there was a guy standing in the dark right behind my tent and it freaked me out. So I'm in my car right now and they're calling an emergency line and yeah. Alright, so there was just a dude lurking behind my tent, just standing there in the dark with no headlamp or anything. It scared the crap out of me when I went to my tent, so we called someone, the emergency camp line, just in case, because he didn't look in his right mind either, so just in case, because we didn't want to confront him. I'm also whispering because everyone's asleep now. Everyone went to bed. But yeah, they came and checked it out, and he happened to leave right before they came. I don't know. It's possible he was just enjoying a view of the river in the dark. He could have announced himself. I don't know. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, but because I was so creeped out.
Whispering into her phone from inside her car, visibly shaken, she describes what she'd just seen. Someone standing in the dark, right behind her tent. Not something she was prepared for, not something anyone would be. She called an emergency line immediately. What she said afterward is the kind of detail that stays with you.
I'd gone to my tent to get something, and as I unzipped it, I noticed a dark shadow right behind my tent, and my tent has 2 doors, and I shined my headlamp on the shadow, and it was a man standing right outside the other door of my tent. My stomach dropped, and I just quietly zipped my tent back up and ran back to my friends. And the scariest part was he was just in the pitch black with no headlamp, nothing. I don't know how he could see anything. He didn't announce himself to us to make us feel safer. He didn't shine a light. He just wandered up into our campsite / the neighboring campsite, which was empty, and we had no idea how long he was there, and he was just standing in one place doing nothing. He wasn't drinking, wasn't doing his business, nothing. He didn't look at me, which actually was pretty comforting because it seemed more like he might have just not been in his right mind and kind of just wandered over, but he continued to hang around in the same spot for the next 15-ish minutes, and we kept shining a light on him, and he never looked at us. He was just standing still in the dark, which was so creepy.
She'd gone back to her tent to grab something. As she unzipped the door, she caught a shape in the dark, a shadow, right behind the second entrance. She lifted her headlamp toward it. A man, standing perfectly still, right outside the other door of her tent. Her stomach dropped. She zipped the tent shut without a sound and moved fast, straight back to her friends. In the end, he was gone before help arrived. No name, no explanation, no way to know how long he'd actually been standing there in the dark before she happened to walk back and find him. Chris Baird runs solo overnight camping videos in some of the most talked about haunted forests in upstate New York. This time he's heading back into a stretch of the Adirondacks that locals call by a different name, the Devil's Forest. It has a history, missing persons, rumors of cult activity, animal remains found arranged like some kind of offering. Chris has heard these stories for years. Tonight, he's going back in to see for himself.
Tonight, we are about to stroll into the Devil's Forest once again for another night. We're gonna be tent camping tonight. To be honest with you guys, it is very cold, very chilly, but I've been wanting to come back here because I've actually heard some more stories, got some more emails. You guys keep having these crazy stories about stuff that happens in the Adirondacks, weird experiences you've had, stories you've heard from friends and family. I found some more stuff online. It's gonna be one of those nights. I've been wanting to come back here. It's been a really busy month, but we're gonna do it. So tonight, I'm literally all by myself. GoPro's in the back of my truck. I'm just standing here. I'm about to drive into the forest right now. Can't say I'm excited about it because it's one of the scariest places I've ever been. I've said it before, and I don't take that lightly. Literally one of the scariest places I've ever been, ever, in my whole life.
He starts the way he always does, setting up camp, joking about the cold, giving his own cooking a hard time on camera, relaxed, familiar, but the moment he steps onto the trail, that mood doesn't last.
Unfortunately, literally snow on the ground.
1700s.
It's at 1700s, so you can literally see the snow on the ground here. What was that? Hello? Do you see a shadow move back there? I swear to God I saw a shadow move back there. Hello?
Deep in the trees, something moves, a dark shape sliding back into the brush. He calls out. Nothing answers. The woods go completely silent. The kind of silent that doesn't feel like calm. It feels like something waiting. He should have turned back right there. Instead, he pushes deeper. And further down the trail, something happens that he says he never expected, not even in his worst dreams.
Talking.
I've just been saying it for a minute because I just heard it sound like two women talking.
Two voices, women's voices, drifting through the bushes from a direction he can't place. He freezes, doesn't move for a full minute. Then, against every instinct telling him otherwise, he keeps going. The trail narrows here, lined with strange spiked trees that always put him on edge, even in broad daylight. Tonight, that feeling isn't just in his head.
It's a really weird trail. It always gives me the weird vibes. A lot of it is because of these spiky trees that you see all over the place. Just always feels off, always feels creepy, always feels crazy. Now, to my knowledge, I'm not far from where the goat organs were found. It's a duck. There's something over there. It's like a black shadow through the trees. Hello? Like I was saying, I don't think we're far from where the goat organs were found. What is that? Hello?
A duck breaks from the underbrush. Right behind it, something else. Fast, low to the ground, gone before he can process what he's looking at. He barely has a second to react before the real moment hits. Footsteps, close, fast, loud. Then, just as suddenly, nothing. Total silence. Like the forest reset itself around him. Seconds later, he finds something on the trail that stops him cold. A piece of women's clothing, lying in the exact stretch of woods where people have gone missing before. Before he can even process it, the spirit box in his hand starts responding to questions he never asked out loud.
Am I being surrounded right now? Whoa. What is that? What is that? Hang on a sec. Oh my God, what is that? No, actually, what the trail goes way down. Ew. Ew, what is this? You guys seeing this? I'm pretty sure that this is just like a weird doll or something, I hope.
They him.
I just found a doll, or two dolls, it looks like, that have all been burnt. String looks like doesn't want us to go back here for some reason. Oh, there's literally a trail, you can see it down there.
Half buried in the dirt, he finds two dolls, both burned, and through the static of the device in his hand, 3 words come through, clear as anything. They killed him. Hours pass. Alone now, deep in the trees, Chris finally asks the question directly. Does the devil actually live in this forest? What comes back through the box isn't what he was expecting.
Does the devil live here, yes or no? What the f did that just say? It just said the devil is here. So creepy. That was terrifying. Did you hear that? Alright, I'm done with this necrophonic. It sounded like a little voice. It was like a breath.
The answer is short, and it's the kind of short that gets under your skin, yes. But the most unsettling moment of the night doesn't happen out on the trail. It happens back at camp, hours later, in complete stillness, alone in the dark at 3 in the morning. That's when Chris hears whistling, and the whistling slowly turns into something that sounds almost like a voice, repeating his own questions back to him, word for word.
There's literally something over here, guys. Okay. Hope you guys understand. I think it's time for me to call it a night. I'm just like waiting for something bad to happen. I just have a bad feeling that there's something or someone out here that does not want me here. Whether that's a human or that's paranormal. I don't actually know. Alright, what the f is that? Holy shit, what the f was that? Get the f out of here, there's no way. Just call that on camera. There's no f way.
2 red lights appear low in the trees, off in the distance, still, unmoving, watching. Chris doesn't stay to find out what they belong to. He's back at his truck within minutes, and he doesn't set foot in that forest again that night. Jens documents solo life on the road, a forerunner, off-road terrain, truck camping, and cooking outdoors in whatever remote corner he's found for the night. On November 15th, 2025, he headed out alone into the desert for an overnight trip. The goal was simple: find a quiet spot, cook a decent meal, let the stillness do the rest. The day started easy enough. The forerunner handled a muddy stretch better than expected, and with the terrain as rough as it was, he figured the place would be his alone for the night. He spent the early evening journaling by the fire, getting food on, settling into the kind of solitude that's the whole point of trips like this. But the desert had a particular quality to it that night, a quiet that felt slightly too aware of itself, something he couldn't name, but couldn't quite shake either.
So it was a little bit eerie going out all alone. Just in the desert for me. I don't know what it is, even though this is where I live right now, but I've done a lot of solo camping in my life at this point, and I've never feel like a little bit eerie. I don't know what that feeling is.
And then, out of nowhere, a small animal appeared, moving right up to the vehicle, sniffing around the back.
Holy guys. There's a little animal right there. I think it might be a little bobcat. Coyote. Shoo! Go away! I hope he's not attracted to my food. What was that thing? God. I'm gonna eat this in my freaking car. I don't want to be out here. That's all.
Jens kept his composure, but his attention sharpened fast. He watched it carefully, hoping it would lose interest and move on. It didn't. The animal kept coming back, persistent in a way that moved it from curious to unsettling.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's safe to say we are not alone out here. Jeez. You can call me a baby if you want, bro. But I have no idea what is outside my car right now. Some type of critter animal.
Eventually, he cleaned up, climbed into the rooftop tent, and closed things down for the night. But the desert has a way of amplifying everything after dark. Every small sound arrives with more weight than it deserves. Every rustle carries further than it should. The feeling of being watched didn't fully leave him. It just settled in quietly alongside everything else. Morning eventually came and reset the balance. Light spread across the desert floor. The air went still and clean, and Jens took in the view before packing up. One more muddy stretch on the way out, and then the road again. But the night stayed with him. Because that's the thing about going out alone. You can plan for the terrain, the weather, the gear. What you can't plan for is that low, persistent awareness that follows you into the tent. The reminder that out here, no matter how quiet it gets, you are never completely the only thing present in the dark. Frosty Flakes is an older channel, the kind with just a handful of videos, mostly hunting trips posted without any real intention of going viral or chasing risk for content. This particular video wasn't supposed to be any different. He was out bow hunting with a friend near Imnaha, Oregon, calling in elk with a whistle, a technique that's worked plenty of times before. This time it worked a little too well. What answered that call wasn't an elk.
Exactly on opposite sides of us.
A pack of wolves began closing in, drawn by the same sound meant to bring in prey, and that's exactly the problem. For a moment, the hunters weren't the ones doing the hunting. The howls sounded close, too close. Close enough that the two men started backing away immediately, doing everything they could to put distance between themselves and whatever was circling them in the trees. But every time they stopped to listen, the wolves seemed to have moved again, closer, and somehow already ahead of where they'd just been standing. It became clear fast that they were significantly outnumbered. At one point, they actually caught sight of two of them.
The first one was white, wasn't it? Yeah.
They picked up the pace. Walking turned into something closer to a fast retreat. Wolves on multiple sides now, one in particular staying noticeably closer than the rest. After pushing on for a while, putting real distance behind them, the howls started sounding more distant. For a moment it felt like they'd made it out. Then came one final howl, loud, close, far closer than anything that came before it, and it didn't sound like the others. That was the last one they heard. After that, nothing. Complete silence. The kind that felt less like an ending and more like a message. You got away this time. Don't come back. In the comments, viewers had their own theories, and more than a few of them lined up with what wildlife experts often say about this kind of behavior. The howls, some suggested, weren't random. They were a warning, a signal telling the hunters they'd wandered into territory that wasn't theirs to be in. One comment in particular pointed out that if the wolves had simply wanted to avoid the hunters, they would have left the area entirely. Instead, they held their ground and kept circling, which strongly suggests they saw the two men as a genuine threat, likely because there was a den with pups somewhere close by. The hunters themselves counted at least 6 wolves, with the real possibility that more were watching from just out of sight. However you look at it, one thing is clear: pushing any further into that stretch of woods could have gone very differently. And that's it for tonight's video. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. New videos drop every week and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Drop a comment below. Which story got to you the most? Or share your own if something like this has ever happened to you. Stay safe out there. I'll see you in the next one.